Hello everybody. I want to talk a little bit about how you can ride a 20-meter circle with a little bit more awareness and with a little bit more of a attention to detail, especially to where the actual circle points are. Circle points in the German language, and I'm sure in the English one it's the same, are the points that are marking where exactly you should touch the rail and where you should actually come across the center line when you're riding a 20-meter circle, right? So the first circle point is a little bit past or in front of F, depending on where you're coming from. And you can see these little orange cones that I'm using to make gates for the actual to mark these circle points. Here, the next one is at A. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm going to ride a nice curved shape towards the next circle point, which is a little bit past K. And I will add a graphic to this video at the end of it so that you can see exactly where these points are. I've also added some around X, and I'm not going to go over where they are right now, but you will see. Just suffice to say that when you're riding your circles and you're trying to practice and zoom in on the finer details of them all, it's really, really important that you have a really precise intention to land on these circle points, right? And what that means is that you're going to ride and touch the track here for maybe 1 to 3 steps, but no more. So the moment you find yourself riding a little bit too long on the actual track while you're riding on this circle line, and I'm meandering around here, the more you know that you haven't actually made a circular point, because the circular point is really just a touch point, right? So I am going to pick up the reins here. I'm going to cross my reins and make them bridged, which will guarantee that I will have a circular rein connection with my horse. And what that means is that I will help my horse not just with my reins, but through my seat and my weight aids and my leg aids, to stay on 2 tracks with all 4 legs. It's almost as if you imagine you're riding a little bit of a train, and wherever you're going, whether it's a straight line or a curved line, you're going to be never leaving those 2 tracks, right? And that is what the term straight on a circle, keeping your horse straight on a circle means. Nothing else. Doesn't mean that the horse has to be straight as a board. It has to still be a little bit of flexion, sometimes a little bit of a feel of bending around the inside leg, depending on where you are. And in essence, a 20-meter circle, the reason it is such an incredibly useful exercise is that it's an alignment of balancing acts, really. It's one balancing act after another. Each stride of your circular shape riding, you have to tell and support your horse how and where you want him or her to place their feet while they're staying actively engaged and coming through from behind, right? The more the horse comes through from behind, the easier it will be for them to go and stay on whatever shape you want to ride. So I'm going to take her, good Thana girl here, I'm going to take her into a little bit of a posting trot. And just so that you can see, yeah, we're only trotting, Thana, good girl, she's ready for a canter, but I just want you to see how I am looking pretty much through her ears, ahead onto the line that I want to ride, right? And as I'm riding these turns, these continuous little mini turns, my inside shoulder is a little bit farther back than my outside shoulder, right? I might be stepping into one stirrup or another and use that as a weight aid to guide her in which direction I want her to go forward into, but not drifting out on the open side of the circle, right? So this feels pretty good, and I can feel that she's pushing nicely from behind. We're in a reasonably slow and measured working trot. All of these things work way better in a smaller, more conservative trot. And then I'm going to take her here into a little bit of a canter in a moment, sit the trot, go up in the up transition ride. Same way, inside leg is driving, inside shoulder is back, outside leg is a little bit farther back as a supporting leg aid, and we're going around and round and trying to really, really stay in a similar feeling of balance and connection throughout all of these different circle points that we're reaching and touching on. I'm going to go back to sitting trot. Good girl. So back to posting trot. And then I might change out of this circle here. And that's the next circle that is around X. And it's the same idea. I have these little cones that I put down as gates to help me remember my circle points. And then we're going to just, look through your horse's ears. Stay in a regular relaxed rhythm. Think straightness. Is my horse tracking up from behind? Or do I feel the haunches drift in or out? Make sure the shoulders are very nicely and evenly sort of pointing into the direction that you're riding, both your horses and your own shoulders. I'm going to sit a little bit here for a moment, and then I'm going to go take her into the canter again. Oh, good girl. And we're going to do the same thing. The inside leg drives, the outside leg is farther back, riding and touching the circle points, the track point, the track only for maybe 2 or 3 steps, if that. And then we're going to come through the skate again, breathe out, sit the trot, and then possibly, stretch the horse out a little bit. Let them be maybe even in a little bit of a 2-point. There you go. And you can still, even in the 2-point, very much direct your horse's, balance, a little bit different feeling, depending on, where you are with all of this. But horses love it when they have you, guide them and help them to stay balanced, because that is how they love to work and move through their own body by themselves, right? And since we're in this together and we're trying to achieve some level, hopefully an increasing level of harmony with our horses, this is such a lovely way of, working and playing and communicating and just being present with one another. So I hope that helps you a little bit of an inspiration again. And take your time with all of this, take breaks if you need to, and happy riding. Thank you, Thana. Good girl.